conference call hosted by ICICI Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that the conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Aniruddha Joshi. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Akshay. On behalf of ICICI Securities, we welcome you all to Q2FY24 results conference call of Kansai Nerolac Paints. We have with us senior management represented by Mr. Anuj Jain, Managing Director, Mr. Prashant Pai, Director Finance, and Mr. Jason Gonsalves, Director Corporate Planning, IT and Materials. I congratulate the management for posting good set of numbers in spite of tough macro conditions and steep competitive pressures. Now I hand over the call to the management for initial comments, and then we will open the floor for question and answer session. Thanks, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anirudh. Good morning, everyone. Greetings to all of you. Thank you for your continued support and interest in our company. Also, thanks for joining this call of Kansai Nerolac for Q2 of financial year 23-24. You must have seen in the results for the quarter, the top line is up by 1.7% and EBITDA is up by 36.8%, PAT up by 53.4%. If you look at the first half of the year, the top line is up by 4.2%, EBITDA by 33.3%, and PAT after exceptional item was up by 229.7%. During the Q2 specifically, if we look at it, the demand has been subdued for decorative, mainly because of erratic monsoons, and generally we have seen that whenever Diwali is in the month of November, there is a shift of demand towards the third quarter. So demand during the quarter has been subdued. In industrial, the demand has been decent. In industrial, automotive and liquid performance coating has registered good growth. Decorative growth is marginally negative. Excluding putty, it is around flat. Volume growth is also similar. In automotive, KNP growth has been better than the market growth. Raw material prices remained stable despite volatility in crude and forex during the second quarter. And this, along with continued cost reduction effort, has helped the bottom line. Partly, the bottom line was also helped with the change of mix, favorable mix. In decorative, the growth drivers which we have been driving in our company. So one, in fact, some of the products which we have introduced over a period of last 1 year, and those products has helped in increasing the mix of the premium items. So there has been a positive change in the mix, and this also helped maintaining the average selling price despite that there has been a demand of the lower end products also, but this helped us in maintaining the average selling price in the quarter. We continued the launches of some of the more unique products. So during the quarter, we introduced Beauty Little Master Sheen. This product we started and launched across India. This is a very unique product having an excellent sheen. Generally, the high sheen is available in a very, very premium range. This is a breakthrough product that in a very basic category, a voluminous market, we have been able to bring this kind of feature. So you can call it as a part of the economy range, this product, but we have very good feature of the premium. So that's the product what we have introduced, and we got a very good response from the market. We extended Impression Kashmir. We had introduced in some other variants, but we introduced the high sheen variant. There are certain markets, certain states where in fact the preference of the consumer is towards a very high sheen. So we introduced that, and also we have introduced the matte. So therefore now with these variants, Impression Kashmir has high sheen, matte. So these kind of variants are available, and it's a very pure product. So we are getting a good response to this product. We also expanded some range in this waterproofing construction chemical. So again, one unique product which is Crystal Seal, we have launched in this period. The other initiative in decorative, which is around the influencer program and services, which we have been updating you in last few quarters. So our next generation painting services and our program for architect interior designer, which we have started scaling up, is gaining continuous momentum, and we are seeing traction quarter on quarter basis. And that scale up process has already started, and we are going to scale it up further. The services has been expanded to more than 150 plus cities in terms of active lead generations now, where we are generating the digital leads and we are having the control on that particular business. Service team and structure, as we are expanding the services, the service team and structure also accordingly we are expanding. In new businesses, overall the new businesses has shown strong growth, and now in fact with our range, the gap what we had in the this range of new businesses, that is no more there. Probably we are doing little better than the market. In terms of project also, we have registered a good growth. So we have been expanding our team now almost more than 75 towns, which has a good potential of projects. So we have a team in place, we have footprints there, and we have registered a good growth in projects also. In terms of network, the expansion in the network was in the double-digit growth, and also as a part of our initiative, we enhanced visibility through media, and digitally also we have been very, very active. We also participated in the high decibel events like Asia Cup and World Cup, and there in fact we have been advertising, communicating the range of new product, the Paint Plus, that which we have introduced over a period of last year. Coming to industrial business, in automotive, our approach, as we have been saying earlier, continuous focus on technologically superior products, launching sustainable technologies to reduce VOC, volatile organic compound, and to reduce carbon emission. Passenger vehicle segment continued the steady growth trend, got carried forward from Q1, and we expect SUV and new model to continue to drive demand. Two-wheelers may see a better demand going forward, but as of now, it was kind of the production growth of the industry, if you see, has been flattish. Three-wheeler is fine. Commercial vehicles continued a positive momentum, and tractor has been under a little stress. We are getting the traction from some of the new six segments where we know that entered, which is a seam sealer, underbody, coats, and alloy wheels. So the business and the traction has started coming. In auto refinish, which is after paint market, in fact our focus is in terms of adding the A-class body shops, and that is helping us again driving the salience of premium products in the auto refinishes. And we also introduced during the quarter the next generation waterborne paints for body shops. That is what we introduced just about towards the end of the Q2. In performance coating division, which is a non-auto industrial category, again one of the focus area we have taken was to come out of some business which at the low end not so profitable, and therefore increasing the salience from the premium business. There also we are seeing increase in the salience of the premium category. We have been working to get approvals, because this business is long-term sustainable growth is dependent on the approvals. So in that pursuit, we have received the WRS approval for fusion bonded epoxy powder. So that is for performance coating division. So the other updates to you, related to capacity during the quarter, the capacity utilization was 65%, and our expansion project at Vizag and Jaipur, they are on track. In the Tamil Nadu Hosur, the expansion has been completed as per the plan. Some other initiative in the company we have been driving the innovation program, and last year we started innovation program, and this time that we had created an innovation process, and we are going for a good participation from the employees, collecting ideas. So that program is taking a shape, and we are receiving a lot of good ideas, and that is giving us that is building a good pipeline for implementing the good ideas to bring efficiency, optimization in our systems. We have been once again certified as Great Places to Work. So we received the certificate Great Places to Work certified organization during the quarter. So these are some brief updates related to quarter, where I just mentioned about the top line, bottom line, the status, the progress on the initiatives, what we have taken. And I now welcome all of you for the questions.
Thank you very much. We'll now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Avi Mehta from Macquarie. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for this opportunity. Sir, I just had two questions. First, with second half, you have indicated benefit of festive period as well as our Paint Plus initiatives are, taking shape. Would it be fair to argue that the margin trajectory would be similar to what we saw in the first half, which is at around 14.7% at the EBITDA level? And what would be the risks, if at all, you think, if you disagree? Thank you.
I think the prices so far have been stable in the quarter two, but going forward, maybe because of this volatility in crude and forex, there may be a possibility of some upward, the trend in the raw material prices. To that an extent, there may be some impact. But the positive factor for the third quarter or the coming quarter would be a better, higher growth. So I think one has to balance between these two.
So, sir, should we expect, would it be fair to expect this current trajectory to continue? Because last time we were kind of more towards a 14% for the full year, but the performance has surprised us positively. So would it be fair to kind of extrapolate this, or you think you would like to suggest that we should still stick to our 14%?
So, Avi, as Anuj mentioned, crude prices have started showing an upward trend, right? Now, to make a statement whether it will be the same or there may be slight some margin up and down, but we believe that by and large the margin should be fine in the third quarter.
Also, we just keep in mind that because our margins also depend on the mix changes, because business mix changes. So depending on how much sale is increasing in industrial and decorative, so to that extent, some flexibility is always there in that regard.
Got it, sir. Got it. No, fairly clear, sir. And sir, just a bookkeeping question. Could you kind of give us a sense on how was the ad spend intensity in this quarter?
We have increased, so we have been going a little aggressive, and as I said, that we have enhanced our visibility, whether it is traditional media or digital. We are, this services where the initiative is all about, the lead generation from the, digital spending. So ad spends have gone up in the quarter two.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side, sir. I'll come back in the queue for your questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pramod Dangi from Unifi Investment Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, and congratulations for recovery in the margin. So you have given a very good commentary on the directional update on the restructuring which we have taken a few quarters back. If you can quantify few of the numbers, that would be very very helpful. Such that out of the growth of 1% or the 5% last quarter, how much driven by the volume growth and how much driven by the any price change, whether it's a negative or positive? In case of, like, as you just said, that the ad spend that actually went up in quarter two, and I remember that Mr. Anuj Jain has said a few quarters back that our ad spend was very low and we would like to increase it. So if you can quantify, if it went more than from 3.5%, it went to 4%, 4.5%, 5%. But I think that quantification will help with your directional commentary.
Okay. So this in terms of decorative, if you are talking about value growth and volume growth, the growths are similar. So that's why I said that because there is a change in the mix of the premium, and therefore we are able to maintain the average selling price. So growth in value and volume is similar. Ad expenditure, Prashant, would you like to talk about what is the change in the ad expenditure?
So it's about more than 50 to 20%. We have increased the ad expenditure in this quarter, more than 20, around 20%.
Okay, great. So the 1% top line growth, the ad spend is actually 20%.
Yes.
Okay, good. And if you can just give the contribution from the new product, like I think March end, our Paint Plus category was giving around 10%, contribution to the revenue. Any significant change over there? How we are moving in that direction as we are, introducing new product. And similarly for the industrial product, all the new categories which you have mentioned, what kind of the contributions which we are seeing now, mid-single digit, and how they are moving?
So in terms of new products, the new products, the contribution is about 10% to the total range. And within the new products, there are Paint Plus, which are unique products. So there also our salience is gradually, going up. Even in industrial, the contribution of the new product is higher single digit towards, the 10% only. Overall for the company, you can say the contribution of the new product is around 10%.
Okay, great. Thanks. And lastly, on the project or the contractor business, we have a team in place a few quarters back. So what kind of tractions which we are seeing now? Is it better than what we expected?
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Can you?
Not able to hear your question.
No, I'm saying that on the project or the contractor business, we had placed a new team a few quarters back. So what kind of experience we are having now? Is it better than what we have expected earlier? Is it going? Because there is a lot of competition as of today. So how we are building up on that side?
So in fact, if you remember, we have been talking quarter on quarter. So we have been gradually expanding our team. And when we expanded the team to further towns, we got a good response. Therefore, we have further expanded. And as I said, now we have crossed more than 75 towns. Now our growth in project, so in the earlier years, our growth, because project growth, the market growth is always higher than the retail growth. And we have been lagging in that particular growth. Now we have caught up and we are in line with the market. Our salience remain low because if we compare with the market, our salience of project sale to the total sale is lower. But in terms of growth we have caught up.
Okay, got it. And lastly, one feedback. I tried to use your next gen service in Mumbai. I just repainted my house 2 months back. But the call back I got after 1 week. By the time my color was over, so I don't know how to take it. But that was in Mumbai, and I know Mumbai is a weak market for us. But
I take it as a feedback, and apologies for that. But I tell you what happens is that because these are new concepts, and when we introduce the new concept, because what happens is that in fact we have started receiving very good responses. The number of leads. So sometimes what happens is it takes a little time to establish your complete structure because every month, that we see that how the leads are going up, that what is the infrastructure the team, is there in the market. Because when we put the team, say, example, in a city like Mumbai, now you don't have the control whether you are getting the more leads from South Mumbai or North Mumbai, so those kind of things and those learnings we take. And continuously, in fact, that there have been learning. Obviously, initially when we started, there have been challenges, but now we are able to, take care of a lot of challenges because our idea is that we should be able to respond, properly. So obviously, we are not 100% right out there, but I think as of now, our satisfaction level or, what we want to do has reached around 90%. And obviously, we have to cross the journey of balance 10% also, where this kind of problem what we had faced should not happen.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Namit Arora from India Growth Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. So I was reflecting on your last slide, which is on the risks and outlook. So I wanted your thoughts on, do you consider increase in competitive intensity in the Indian market also a sort of a risk for you and any impact?
Namit, sir, can you please switch to the handset? You're on the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Please
okay. Yeah, sure. So thank you for the opportunity. I was reflecting on the last slide of the presentation on risks and outlook. So I would be grateful for your thoughts on if you consider increase in competitive intensity in the Indian market also some sort of a risk for you. And have you seen any impact on employee retention, the vendor ecosystem, distributor ecosystem, etc.? Thank you.
So actually, we have been talking about it. So obviously, it's a fact that the new competition is there. A lot of new competition has already come in. Some company will come towards the end of year. But I think what is important is to know that the existing players, so like for us also, there is a established brand, there is a established network, there is a good relationship with the network. Some of the initiatives what we have started in terms of influencer management. So all that ecosystem is set. Now, it all depends at what approach the new competition is going to take. But, in our view, it's not overnight game. Companies may come in. There is an advantage also because in the market like decorative paint market like India, where the size of Big Four or the organized sector is around 50,000, every year we expect a growth of around 10%. So, partly the new players can get absorbed from the growth also. And rest it depends on what kind of approach they take, because it's a quality market. So if you want to fight on a price, the long-term sustainable growth is, becomes difficult. So I think what is important is to focus in terms of our initiative, building network, building relationship with the dealers, influencers, creating growth drivers, which we have been doing. And let's see that how it shapes up. As of now, I can only comment that new players good for the market because you see more innovation, you see more communication. To that an extent, more formalization happen. Maybe the penetration goes up. So these are some positive factors also.
Got it. Thank you for your very detailed and candid thoughts, sir, and all the best to the entire team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Atharva Bhutada from Purnartha. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So I just wanted to understand, will we be able to grow...
Speak loudly.
Hello?
Can you speak loudly?
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand that in FY24, will we be able to grow double digit now because of such a poor quarter in the industry? And in quarter 2 or quarter 3, do you think that we'll be able to beat the industry?
So I can only say that quarter 3, quarter 4, the market growth will definitely be better, and therefore the outlook for the coming quarters is better than the first 2 quarters. How much actual growth the outlook looks to be, that at least the coming quarter the double digit looks possible, as of now. And when you say beat the industry, what happens is that there are different segments like, as I said, paint, putty, project, the new businesses. So if you look at segment by segment today, so whether it's a project or new businesses, somewhere we are equal to the market, somewhere we are a little higher than the market. But some of these high growth sectors, our salience is lower. So therefore, sometimes some gap you see mainly because of the salience. For us, what is important is that if we are playing in that particular sector, whether that we are able to catch up with the market growth or able to do better. So that is how we do our calculation. But since our salience is low, sometimes there is a difference, and therefore our attempt also would be that how do we increase the growth in a particular segment so that even the salience factor goes away, but that does not disturb us, because as long as every segment we are able to see, other than the segment where we decide or choose that we don't want to play in a particular quarter, because if the quarter market growth is high, maybe sometime we want to participate in the volume driver product. But if the market growth is muted, so sometime that we go a little slow on that. So I think that's the answer which I can give to your question.
Okay. And so on a year-on-year basis for the second quarter, according to the rainfall data that IMD has provided, there has been a 12% dip in average rainfall in the country. So what has happened that the paint industry has suffered such a significant blow to the demand?
You are saying paint industry has suffered?
A significant blow to the demand.
So you can say that, if we look at in terms of urban and rural, the demand has been impacted in the rural sector. Now, as you are rightly saying that the rains were, we can call it a near normal. So there may be a possibility and that there could be a better demand at least in the coming quarters, because the monsoons have not been that bad. There is some deficit, but it is like geographically. Some geography it is good, some geography it is not so good. So in the geography, that where it is absolutely normal, near normal, there we expect a better demand. And therefore, overall at the country level, if we compare with the quarter 2, the demand definitely would be better in the coming quarters.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Keyur Pandya from ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. The first question is on the industrial side. So, if you can just more quantitative details and as to how we have grown in auto and non-auto, and what is the outlook for the second half in the industrial side. Since based on your presentation, it seems that most of the engines are are firing now. It's a two-wheelers segment was not participating in the growth. Now with four-wheeler, two-wheelers, as well as some other non-auto industrial doing well, what kind of growth outlook you would give for the industry?
If you look at quarter two, the passenger vehicle production growth of the industry as per the CM report is about 6% production growth. So generally the paint growth goes in line with the production growth of the auto manufacturers, and so 6%. And I think even in the coming quarters, probably they will be able to maintain this kind of growth. Two-wheeler in the quarter two, again as per the CM report, the production growth was flat and maybe slightly negative also. But in the coming quarters, because the two-wheeler growth is dependent on the uptake in the rural market. So there are expectations, as we talk to our customers, that there are expectations that at least in some geographies, the companies are expecting to see little better demand from the rural, and therefore the two-wheeler will get supported. In the other non-auto, which is like general industrial performance coating, I think based on the infrastructure, the spending from the government, I think that sector is doing fine, and it will continue to do fine. In powder coating, where probably there was some low demand, mainly because of some few segments, there we have started seeing some kind of uptick, and therefore going forward, probably the growth could be better in those segments also.
Just to clarify, so with, as you mentioned that in last 3 or 4 quarters that company has gained share in the auto OEM business, and with higher share of premium cars, premium paints, and larger size cars, shouldn't the paint growth be higher than the volume growth? And in that context, should we expect double-digit growth, industrial plus auto combined going ahead?
So it depends, generally within the passenger vehicle you may be right, but this get offset, with the two-wheeler, because two-wheeler numbers are also very large, and there the growth has been little lower. So only if you look at the passenger vehicle, there is a possible. But when I look at the automotive, it is a combination of passenger vehicle, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, commercial vehicles, and tractors. So even if I look at quarter two, the commercial vehicle growth has been good. Auto production growth, as I said, 6%. Two-wheeler growth is just a little negative, and tractor also has been negative. So as a combination, if you see, maybe the difference between, but only if you talk about the passenger vehicle, you are right.
Okay. On the decorative side, with all the initiatives that we have taken in last 4 to 6 quarters, where do you see for the like-to-like category you growing faster or at least catching up with the industry? And Q2 demand, you just see because of the timing difference, we have seen the slowdown, or there is some consumer slowdown that we are witnessing in paint?
I could not understand the last line what you said.
So the slower demand that we have seen in decorative in quarter two, is it just because of the timing difference of festive and monsoon, or there is a genuine demand slowdown that we are witnessing?
Okay. So the growth, we are seeing a good traction in projects and the new businesses, which we started, and there we are seeing a better traction. Within the retail categories, the categories like what we talk about, what we spoke about, premium based on our influencer program, architects, services, those initiatives are supporting some of those categories. And demand, yes, the demand has been slow, one because of monsoon. In fact, this has become a trend now. In fact, we have seen that whenever Diwali is in November, the third quarter growth is always better, and the second quarter go a little lower. But maybe this quarter, the quarter two this year has been lower than expectation. But yes, we have seen some uptick in demand, and we are hopeful that quarter three will be better.
Sure. Thanks a lot, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a star and one to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Shirish Pardeshi from Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Anuj and Prashant.
Good afternoon.
For the opportunity. Just 2 questions in the beginning. To my understanding, the channel has told us that because the demand was subdued in the month of July and August, so we had an early discounting by most of the industry participants in the month of August, and the intensity has climbed up very high. So the question here is that is the promotion or discounting intensity has now stabilized, or it's still gone up? Because the demand, what you have been saying, looks better in the anticipation festive season is going to be good, but still rural is not recovered. So your comments on that?
So I think discount intensity has gone up, and as of now, I cannot say it is stabilized, but it depends, that in going forward that how it happens. But as of now, it is not stabilized. It is still up.
Okay. Okay. The second observation is that what we understand, the quarter two growth was largely driven by the economy emulsions. Assume that if the festive season pans out and there is a luxury premium segment which should come back and wedding season also will complement. So that means that our margin guidance, or not guidance, the margin what we have achieved, there is a likely chance that the margin will move up because of the mix change. Is that a fair assumption?
In our case, if you see, as I said, that within our mix, the contribution of the premium actually has gone up. And as I said, that excluding this empathy, our growth is better. So generally what happens is that when the market is subdued, the growth is subdued, that time we don't chase volume so much, because it may add to the volume but not much to the value. But when you see a better market growth, then probably during that period, that we would like to release some resources even for the volume-driven product. So to that an extent, I think it gets balanced.
Okay. And the last question. Yesterday we heard one of the leading players said that the south there are problems. Maybe the rains were insistent or below normal. So there are pains. So in your understanding, what is happening in south, or our south observation is, is the south is not important to us?
No, every market is important, but obviously our market share is low in south, or salience is lower in south. So hopefully, because south generally, yes, the observation is right, but generally south market gets picked up by the end of November or first week of December, because December, January is supposed to be a good season time. So we can only hope that, by the season time, I think south market picks up and it therefore gives some spurt to the growth of the industry.
Okay. So if South comes back with the full sheen, can industry expect a double-digit volume growth for second half?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhijit from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good morning. So my question was on what would be the differential growth between industrial paints and decorative for you? Because our overall growth has been about 2%. So just wanted to get an understanding of what would have been the growth broadly in decorative and broadly in automotive. So if automotive has grown at a higher rate, so industrial has grown at a higher rate, then decorative sales would have been more muted. Just the difference between the two growth rates.
So I think I said at the start, so decorative growth is marginally negative, and excluding putty, it is kind of flattish, while industrial it is a higher single-digit growth towards double-digit growth, you can say.
Okay. Sorry, I missed that actually.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, got it. So high single-digit growth in industrial, then with a 6% growth in production that we have seen in passenger vehicles, that high single-digit growth could still be sustainable, right? When Q3.
Yes.
Even at the current rate of.
Yes.
That sounds nice. So only your decorative growth has to move up for you to show a high single-digit to a double-digit growth in sales going on.
Yes.
Understood. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Tejas Shah from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, Anuj. Hi, Prashant. Thanks for the opportunity.
Hi.
So when we entered the quarter, the narrative or the expectation from the industry was that whenever there is an Adhik Maas and run up to the festive season is delayed, we usually see good pickup in decorative paints. But now when we are picking up commentaries, it seems that it did not turn out to be that way. So is it that the underlying demand is actually much more weaker than what it appears on the number?
So you are right in terms of that. Definitely the growth in the quarter two was lower than what industry has estimated, and mainly if I break it up in urban and rural center, I think the demand was tough in the rural market, and rural segment also contribute good to the paint industry. So in fact there has been some stress. and the industry has been hoping to see uptick, which so far we have not seen. But based on some of the trend, as I said, it may not be across the country, but some of the geographies we are hopeful that in this quarter, mainly because of the good monsoons in some of the geographies, we are hopeful to see that. And if that happens, then I think the overall demand of the industry will go up.
But sir, the divergence between urban and rural is very stark, or relatively rural is weaker and hence urban looks better, or urban has actually definitely picked up in a very strong way?
Urban, you can say, picked up in the sense that urban there is a normal demand, and rural the demand has gone down, and rural contribution is good, and therefore it is affecting the total demand.
Got it. And the last one, sir, you spoke upon on competitive intensity, and this question has been asked in many different ways in the last 4-5 quarters. But from your experience, you would have seen the industry has actually kind of fought with many challenges in past and last 2 decades, and then still survived in a very strong way, incumbents in particular. Would you qualify the new competition in the same bucket as in the way what we would have faced in the last 20 years, or this time sheer size of balance sheet with which it is coming, you will say that this time it could be different?
So I would say this time it could be different, because of the reasons as you rightly said. But the basic facts of the industry remain same. That what is the kind of brand you have, what is the kind of network in terms of dealers or the influencers you have, and what are the drivers of the growth which industry is ready with. So I think those factors are there. So whether it is a big size player or small size player, I think there is no answer available overnight. So obviously people can come in. As I said, that it is always good for the industry to have more number of players, because it always is helpful, beneficial for the industry in the longer run. So that is what I expect, that there may be a more good things happen in the industry rather than the bad thing, and therefore the industry will prosper further.
Yeah. And so last one on that, and I'm just trying my luck here. Would you have any, I'm asking you to forecast only here or crystal gaze, can the competitive intensity have a very different regional flavor or a market structure flavor, as it could be very high at mass end or premium end, or it can have a very regional flavor also, that it could be very high on west and south and not necessarily north and east? Do you have any such forecast if you can give?
No, very difficult. It's very difficult for us to make any comment on that. Sorry.
Got it. So that's all from my side, and season's greetings to you and the team.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Keyur Pandya from ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity again. Just one bookkeeping question. In the Q2, the kind of growth that we have seen in other expenses, if you can just tell, is it A&P or something, some other line item, or there is one-off, since the absolute growth itself is very high? So it can give clarity. Thank you.
Yeah, Prashant.
So other expenses, as I said, we have, as per our plan, we have been mentioning quarter and quarter that we'll be increasing our ad spend. We have been doing that as per our plan, and that is one of the reasons. Plus, other expenses are more of normal growth, which is in line with the inflation.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Amnish Agarwal from Prabhudas Lilladher Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Anuj and Prashant. I have just one question on the volume growth. Because in the, I think, couple of questions back, also it was discussed that if we put, say, our total volumes in 2 buckets, that is decorative and industrial, then on the, say, industrial side, while auto is doing well, I would say powder coatings and all, even durables are slightly tepid if you look at the overall sales of the industry, and general industrial is, I would say, doing reasonably well. So that is one bucket, and the second is decorative, which has not done that great so far, maybe because of delayed festival season. Now, if the automotive industry, say, grows by 5-6%, say, in volumes, and general industrial, and you can say your powder coatings, they might grow, say, by around, say, in tandem, then do you see a possibility that the decoratives will have a momentum which will enable double-digit growth rate for the industry in the second half of the year?
Yeah, as we discussed that, obviously, if you see the breakup between industrial and decorative, mainly the double-digit growth is missed because of the decorative part, and because of this Diwali momentum followed by the good marriage season which is expected in the month of November, December, we are hopeful that this growth will get into the area of double-digit volume growth.
In 4Q also?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay, and this time around, I think the pricing will remain negative if your product prices are not changed.
No, not changed.
Okay.
It's only the price change, that when you are able to see stability, because now in the market still the volatility is there, and as I said that going forward there may be some upward movement of the raw material prices, so one will have to wait for that when it gets stabilized.
Okay. That's useful. The second bit is on you can say your putties, waterproofing, and all the other, you can say, construction chemical segment which we had, you can say, entered over the past 2-3 years. So how are we trending over there? Any, you can say, idea which you can give us on market share or in terms of, say, distribution or where, actually what's the movement and how we are progressing in those particular segments?
In waterproofing construction chemical areas, specifically, we have started doing better than the market in terms of the growth. Obviously, our salience is lower because we started late, but in terms of growth, we have started doing better.
Okay, so can you share with us that how much that could be part of decoratives now?
Overall, new businesses would be about 7 to 8% of the decorative now.
Okay, and that new businesses will include all this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Abhijit from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up opportunity. My question was on, everybody has been asking about competition, the competitive environment to intensify and all. But on ground, whether you will be able to tell me that or not, I don't know. But on ground, have your large dealers seen any, has the competition approached them? Have you seen any competition, trying to tap your large dealers? Have you seen that? Because
there are discussions in the market, people are meeting, but I think it's a little early, because see, the competitions have already entered. There are companies who have entered in last 1 year, 1.5 years. Right. Then obviously, the business, whatever business is happening, it's happening, but that has not impacted much the industry. And when you talk about some of the new players who are going to come in, there in fact, as of now, obviously there's nothing, the product is not introduced or the packages have not been rolled out. So I think it's a little early to comment upon that.
Understood. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Atharva Buttada from Purnartha. Please go ahead.
Sir, I just had one question. I just wanted to understand if the rural demand is being impacted due to higher price increases that we have taken over the last 4 to 5 quarters.
It could be possible, but parallelly industry has come out with a lot of products which are there in the economy range also. And generally what we are seeing in many of the consumer industries, there's a downgrading which is happening. And so therefore there are products available which are at the price range. So I think it's a matter of demand, and to some extent I probably would agree with you that it's a downgrading. So to that extent it's a combination of both.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for your patient hearing, and we really appreciate for your support, continued support. And this is a good part of the year, in fact, when there are so many festivities that we are approaching towards. So from my side and on behalf of Kansai Nerolac Paints Limited, I extend the best wishes, the greetings for Diwali to all of you. Please enjoy with your family. And thanks once again. We'll catch up again after the next quarter. Interesting times ahead for the industry, but I think the industry trends have remained bullish in the past and will remain bullish in the future also. Thanks for attending and best wishes for the season. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.